welcome back to my YouTube. Life has changed so much and I honestly miss vlogging my life. Like I used to vlog so much, especially when I was with Nick, like dating and stuff, because to me it felt like a home video and something to look back on, and we still look back on old videos of us and we're like, oh, we felt like we were just little kids at that point. But I miss doing that, and I'm about to be what I feel like is entering a very big season of change. And again, I want to document it and post it and share it. I think it's a very fun creative outlet, especially with my background in photography. Vlogging and making videos is super fun. Lord knows I'm not consistent with really any platform. I really jump around, but that's really my personality. I think that's why I'm a good photographer too, because there's always the next shoot. There's always something new to do. No shoot is the same. And that's kind of how I operate with social media. Right now, my hyperfixation is YouTube, so why not? But for now, I'm gonna make a coffee on my Breville and kind of show you guys how I do that. I also got these really cute cups on Amazon that I saw someone post about and I ordered immediately. I was so obsessed. And so I'm gonna make a little iced coffee, have a chit chat with you guys, and I actually do need to feed my starter as well. I want to share more about my sourdough journey because truly it has become a passion of mine. And this is like genuine sourdough. I'll get into it, but I got it from Charleston. It's like a 100-year-old starter. You can feel the benefits. Like when people say like, oh, like it's fermented, it's good for you. No, like it's actually been so good for my regularity, if you know what I mean. My gut health overall has improved. Even like in my recent labs with my gut doctor, she was like, your gut bacteria is actually looking really good. And I swear the only thing that I've really changed is sourdough, or adding sourdough into my diet. Have something fun to do this evening. I'm just gonna take you guys along for a little afternoon. I've been having like a work from home day, and I was like, I might as well just pick up my camera and start vlogging, because I will always wait for the perfect moment to start vlogging, and that's just not real life. Like life is just life, and you just need to vlog even the little things. And at least for me, when I watch vlogs on YouTube and stuff like that, or little like chats and stuff, I love seeing the mundane. I love seeing your random Tuesday like routine. Like what does that look like? So yeah, life is not a highlight reel. And also I appreciate YouTube because it's like a long form, so you can talk more, you can share more. It's not like you're limited to like a 3-minute TikTok or Instagram reel. Anyways, okay, let's make our coffee and we'll get started. These are the beans that we use. They're a Charlotte local. We love these, they're so good. Make our own homemade vanilla bean syrup. Okay, if you are putting up laundry or on a road trip, or you just need something to listen to while you're doing other things, this is the perfect time to listen, I feel like. So I'm gonna have a very honest chat with you guys. I have been on the struggle bus. Every single year, I get the absolute worst seasonal depression. It comes every year. Like I know when it's about to happen, right? You anticipate it, but every single year when I find myself down in the winter and it's super like dreary and gray outside, I still catch myself being like, why am I so sad? Like what's wrong in life? Like freaking out about my whole life, right? So once I take a step back and I'm like, yeah, this is not like normally how you feel. You just have a very bad case of the seasonal depressies again. then it puts so much in perspective for me. And yesterday in Charlotte was like 67 degrees and sunny, and I sat out in the sun, and immediately, like, any depression I was feeling, any anxiety I had been feeling, just gone. So I know that it's a seasonal thing, right? But also I don't want to invalidate like the season that Nick and I are in at all. Nick and I are great. Like, our marriage is probably like the one thing that is super consistent and steady right now. But just like life circumstances, we are in a waiting season. And why I'm talking about this is because I know there are so many other girls or women, or guys too if you're listening, that are going through a very difficult waiting season. For us, like, what that looks like is, if you don't know, we are building a house right now. And another reason why I want to vlog is so I can like share more of that, because it should be done in April, I think. So that's super exciting. So we're building a house, but for us financially, we need to sell this house to get the new house. A lot of people are like, just rent it out, just rent it out. And I'm like, just for us individually, like, that works for some people. We really want to sell our townhome to move into the new home, which is obviously pretty normal and standard. But so we have not sold our townhome yet. There's nothing wrong with it. The market is just so bad. Interest rates are so bad. And there's been plenty of nights or weeks where Nick and I are like, did we make a rash decision? Like, we start like second guessing, like, is this what we should have done? Like, or should we have waited until like rates went down and stuff? Because we found the house in October, and so we were like, oh, we have plenty of time, we'll sell it. And I still do believe we're gonna sell, and I do believe we'll get to move into our dream home. However, the waiting and trusting God to provide in that area can be really hard. And we've really had to check ourselves, because we've been spending a lot more time stressing and worrying than we have praying about it and reading the word and trusting God with it. And so that's honestly been, in a strange way, beautiful for our marriage to come together on something and pray together, to send each other Bible verses when we're feeling really stressed. So it's been like really great as a marriage bonding tool, and like looking at like us versus the problem of like, okay, we're gonna get through this. Like, however, I really feel like the Lord is teaching us, like, because I do believe he's gonna bless us with that home. I really believe he brought us to that home. But when I give you that home, I want you to know that I did it all for you. I don't want you to take credit for it. And I feel like if we sold the house right off the bat, we'd be like, oh, we did that. Like, we're good, we're Gucci. Like, we sold the house and everything was easy. The hard situations are where you learn to trust God. And my friend Casey and I were on FaceTime last night, and she was like, God's delays are not always denials. And I was like, that is so good. I have not been able to get it out of my head. And so I want to share that with you. If you're in a waiting season of whatever the answered prayer that you need is, it could be so many different things. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't happen. Now, I will say, God doesn't always answer our prayers in the way we want him to. So Nick and I are even just like, if somehow this house falls through and we don't sell this house, are we okay? Are we going to be content in the Lord no matter what? And so, yes, you can hope and pray for things, but really it's up to the Lord and his divine plan for your life. So we're just surrendering and trusting God in that. And it's been really hard, but in a way it's really bonded us together and made us stronger. And I really just believe we're gonna see an answered prayer in selling this house. We still have plenty of time. In January, I feel like it's not the most ideal time to buy anyway, so we're like not gonna freak out that much. And then lastly, I would say I do have friends in Charlotte, but I obviously miss my best friends from back home, and adjusting to that has been really hard, because with my friends from home, I could be like, hey, do you want to randomly meet up with me today to go to the mall? Or like call them whenever, you know. I don't have that level of friendship here yet. So it has been, in a way, a little bit lonely, and I hate saying all these things because I naturally, like, with my personality, I hate to seem weak or vulnerable, or like I don't have my ish together. Like my flesh wants to seem like I have it all together, right? But just goes to show, social media is a highlight reel, first of all, and two, there can be a lot of things in life that just aren't going your way, and you really need God to come through and give you a breakthrough in a certain area. So I have been deep in the prayer closet like I've never been before, and Nick will come home so many nights and I'm just like trying not to cry because I feel the weight of all these delays and things that we're waiting on, and just like, Lord, when will it be my turn? But this is where I want to encourage you guys, is just because you're waiting does not mean that God's not there. And think back, this is what gets me through, okay? When I'm in a waiting season like this, what gets me through is how I've been in a waiting season before, but God always was faithful. God always answered my prayers. God always pulled me out of bad situations. So I know he's gonna do it again. I believe it wholeheartedly. I have this pure 100% faith and trust that the Lord is going to bring breakthrough in my life again. So look back on all the times in the past that you saw God answer your prayer, that you saw God pull you out of a bad situation. It can happen again. So whenever you start freaking out, like, I'm in a really rough season, have perspective of like, you've been in a rough season before and it sucks. It's not easy. But when you have the perspective of like, I've been in crappy situations before and it worked out, so I'm gonna trust that God's gonna do it again. It really does bring you so much peace. And I don't know, I'm really taking that with me right now. I think that's why I've been a little bit more like stable. But that's just some words of advice if you're in a waiting season, because it sucks. It sucks. There's no way around it. But trusting in the Lord, talking with people through the circles in your head, just like, I need to vent. I need to get all of my words out. They're all in my head, swirling around. You've got to talk to people or journal. Journaling has helped me so much if I'm ever just so anxious or so overwhelmed about a topic in my life. Like, I'll just journal it and then I'm like, okay, I feel a little bit better. Like, it's not just up in my head doing little cartwheels and stuff. With that being said, there are so many exciting things happening right now, and I feel very optimistic and very hopeful. So I don't want to make this a like Debbie Downer video of like things that are going wrong in my life, but we're building the house, so I can't wait to show you guys the updates on that and how we like decorate, or how I decorate, because that's like my favorite thing to do. And we are joining a new gym in Charlotte. If you live in Charlotte or you've been to Charlotte, you may know that the gyms in Charlotte are horrible. I'm from Dallas. I really got spoiled in Dallas because Dallas has their ish together. They have great restaurants, great, like, everything's aesthetic. All the ambiances are 10 out of 10. I went to Recess in Dallas and I loved the vibe there. And there's just nothing like that boutique gym in Charlotte until the health club came about. And I think it's gonna open in like a few weeks. I think they're waiting on like inspections to pass and stuff. But I can't wait to start going there, because something about a gym environment, like, this sounds really silly, but I feel like if you like your gym environment, you get more motivated to go. Don't come for me, because I also know like some people love like the grungy dungeon vibe of a gym. Like, some people like that. You know, for me, I love, like, this is just the photographer in me, but I love good lighting. I love good design details. I love those things. The cool part about the health club is it's actually a fitness and recovery place all in one. So while they have the open gym, they have the squat racks, they have the dumbbells, they have the treadmills, Stairmaster, all of those things. They also are gonna have workout classes upstairs, which will be a HIIT class. They'll offer yoga and Pilates and reformer Pilates. So literally all of that. Some of it will be heated. Like, any class that you would dream of is going to be there, as well as the open gym. And then this is where I get really excited. So they're gonna have a really nice sauna and steam room. They're gonna have a cold plunge and hot tub, and their locker rooms are just absolutely beautiful. And it has plenty of parking. Like, it's just gonna be so great. That and the new house are pretty relatively close to each other as well. And I'm just so excited. It's just, once those things are here, I'm not trying to sound like I'm not content where I am right now, but once those things are here, I'm gonna be cool as a cucumber. Like, my content is gonna pop off. I just haven't felt very inspired in the townhome. It's very special to us. This is where I visited Nick the first time, like stuff like that. This is where he asked me to be his girlfriend, literally right there while I was sitting on the counter. Just all these romantic moments that we have will always be a part of me, but I'm just not feeling, as far as like content, I'm not feeling inspired here. So I'm just ready for a change of scenery, to say the least. But all that being said about the health club, I'm going tonight to take a class. They're not open yet, but their instructors are like doing practice classes, and they have people come in and take the class and give feedback. So I get to see it for the first time tonight, and I'm so excited. So I'll definitely bring you guys along and like film that, and it's gonna be raw in real time, like me seeing the gym for the first time. So that's gonna be really, really fun. I have that at 6. It's 2:30 now. I'm going to work for a bit, then I'll take you all to the gym with me. Oh wait, I need to feed my starter, and I need to talk to you guys about my sourdough journey. Hold that thought. Okay, so my sourdough obsession is probably at full force. I make about 2 loaves a week at the same time, and I keep one for Nick and I, and then I usually will send one with him to work to give to someone, or I'll give it to a friend, because I love gifting it. It's just so fun. Like, I've made this, and it's a gift that like people will eat and use, versus just like, oh, you got me a gift card or whatever. I'm gonna link her below, but she is a true Etsy find gem. I'm obsessed with Charleston. If I could live anywhere, it would be Charleston, but for now it's just like my happy place, only 3 hours away. I go visit often. But this girl is based in Charleston, and she has a 100-year-old Charleston-based sourdough starter. Like, imagine the Charleston air, like fermenting this starter and growing this starter, and just like, you can just taste the coast in it. I don't know how to describe it, but it tastes so fresh, so good. I would highly recommend buying through her, because let's say you are clueless when it comes to sourdough, pretty much like I was. She includes instructions on everything, the step-by-step on how to make it per day, and instructions like storing your sourdough starter or feeding it. Like, she tells you everything, okay? So if you buy from her, she also gives you like step-by-step. So that's amazing in my opinion. My starter sits in the fridge while I'm not using it, usually for about like 5 to 7 days. So I took it out of the fridge earlier today so it could like get to room temperature. I'm going to feed it, and by the time I come back from my workout tonight, it'll be ready for me to make my leaven, and that's what sits out overnight and gets super active, and then I'll be making the dough tomorrow. Oh, I love the smell of starter. That's probably so weird, but I just feel like it smells so fresh. Okay, so as you can see, it's very liquidy right now, okay? So I use bread flour. That's what she also recommends that you use. When I was trying to do gluten-free flour, side note, it was not turning out the same, okay? It turned out like bread, but it's not the same. I tried my best to be gluten-free, and my gut doctor literally last week told me, I checked with her, I was like, are you okay with me making like normal sourdough? Like, is that going to upset me? And she's like, no, honestly, that's really good for your gut. As long as you use like a bread flour, maybe try that instead of like an all-purpose. But it's okay. That's like probably the one gluten thing that I can have. So for me, it doesn't really upset me. It actually makes my gut feel good, but obviously everyone is different, so don't take that as like gut advice. But anyways, I use bread flour. I have quite a few jars that I just kind of alternate through. You're gonna want a food scale. Okay, so I do a 1 to, so sometimes I still have to read it. I do a 1 to 1 to 1 ratio of the starter, the water, and the bread flour. 50, perfect. And then we're gonna do 50 grams. I am not a clean baker. Okay, and then this is warm filtered water. I just warm it up a little bit. 50 grams. Okay, so this is our situation. We're gonna mix it up. You start to kind of develop like a sense for the consistency. Like this feels a little too watery for me, so I'm gonna add in more bread flour. But I feel like sourdough is very forgiving. Like if you mess it up a little bit, you can always fix it. This is our new starter, okay? So we let this sit on the counter for, I think 4 to 6 hours is like peak. Don't count me on that, like that might not be right, but that's usually about how long I wait, and you'll see like it'll double in size. We'll come back and make our leaven later, but that is how you feed your starter. That's how I feed mine. I'm sure there's like other ways to do it online, but this one just makes the most sense personally. Now I need to clean this up. That's fun. Okay, we are heading to this workout class. I'm really just like dying to see what it looks like in there. I feel like seeing it in person will be so cool and also get me so excited to like go there, obviously as a member. I got these new walking shoes from Nike. So comfortable. It feels like you're walking on like a cloud. We are at Health Club. I'm so freakishly early, so I'm just sitting in my car. I've never taken a bar class, so I don't really know what to expect. I've just heard that it's really hard. So looking forward to that. But while I'm in there, I'll like show you guys what it's looking like. Even just from out here, I can see it and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so sick. Like I can't wait to work out here every day and do the sauna like every day. I also got my nails done for Valentine's Day. Look how freaking cute that is. I got Funny Bunny as the coat, like the base coat. And then I forgot the color, but the pink little hearts. So cute. Holy moly, that class was so hard. It was basically, I didn't want to film in there, like the environment wasn't, because it was kind of like a tryout for the instructor to work at the health club, I think. So I didn't want to like be setting up my phone or camera in there and, you know, trying to be like respectful and all of that. But it was like a mat-based Pilates and bar mix. It was so hard. I'm like shaking just holding my camera up, but I just realized that there's a Chick-fil-A right next to, and a Starbucks, which I don't really drink Starbucks anymore, but kind of nice for the convenience. But there's a Chick-fil-A right by the gym. So I think I'm just gonna get, or I already did order, but I'm gonna get Chick-fil-A, take it home. Nick is at a dinner with a friend, and so Chick-fil-A is just a move. I really try not to eat it that much, but sometimes it just sounds so good. Okay, before I turn off for the night, I want to show you the starter and how much it's grown. It's pretty much doubled in size, and honestly, it'll probably still keep growing for a little bit, but yeah, tonight I will use this to make the leaven, and then tomorrow we can make the dough, and from there we'll make beautiful sourdough. But yeah, I've got my Chick-fil-A, and I'm just gonna enjoy it. I deserve it. I worked out really, really hard tonight. But I'm gonna end the vlog here and then pick it back up tomorrow for some more fun things. Bye.